Rockstar Games have created some of the greatest games of all time and have beloved franchises like Red Dead, Max Payne, Midnight Club, and Grand Theft Auto. They've also tried really cool and interesting things like the 2006 game Bully and the 2010 game LA Noire, although the development of that didn't exactly go all that great. But there are some things that they have not tackled, and that's actually what we're going to be discussing today. But before we jump into that, I want to give a huge thank you to War Robots for sponsoring this video. That's actually the featured gameplay in the background, and they did inspire the topic for today. It's a fun iOS or Android game free to play that I've invested quite a bit of time into lately. War Robots is specifically a tactical player versus player multiplayer game, 6v6 to be exact, and you have a choice of robots with a variation of style, designs, abilities, and different maps and locations to battle in. Some of the customization in the game includes various weapons like the Pin rocket launcher to the Gecko laser. There's also a plethora of pretty cool paint jobs like the Blue Hex that you'll see later on in gameplay, and huge robots like the GI Patton, which has quickly became a favorite of mine. Overall, I've had a blast with it, and make sure to check the link in the description to try it out for yourself, and the team over at War Robots have provided me with a bonus of 100 gold, 100,000 silver, and 2 punishers for anyone that clicks the link in the description and downloads the game. Again, thank you to War Robots. Not a perfect game, as I wish there was melee combat, but the upgrades and customization makes it a lot of fun, which is probably why it has such great reviews. And there's actually more to this than just them sponsoring this video, as this really got me thinking why Rockstar Games haven't tried something like this. Maybe not necessarily War Robots, but something in the science fiction genre. Bethesda Game Studios are apparently working on a space RPG called Starfield. CD Projekt Red, the developers of The Witcher 3, have their own futuristic game coming with Cyberpunk 2077, and I have to think if Rockstar Games were to do something like this, it could be a hit. Now, this thought is actually something that has come up in the past, and one of Rockstar's founders was asked about this in 2013 in an interview with a French website. Dan Houser specifically said the idea was, quote, very tempting, unquote, but that the studio first needs to find a good reason to do so. He continued on saying, quote unquote, one of our strengths is the consistency of the game world. We're not necessarily the best writers in the world, but we know how to write a video game. He then added that Rockstar chose to make a Western with Red Dead Redemption because we knew we had something to say. But getting back to the possibility of a sci-fi game, he continues with, we have no interest in going into science fiction for the sake of flying cars and laser guns. The best science fiction stories are those that speak about the human condition. So while the idea is very tempting and by definition anything's possible in a video game, we lack the essential thing for the moment, a good reason. Now, this was said in 2013. While I think Dan has the perfect vision with why and why not to do this, it does make me ponder about what could be. Rockstar has a new game coming between Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 6. Some rumors have said that it could be Bully 2 or even Agent, that game that was supposed to come about a decade ago, to the PlayStation 3. Deep down, while I'm dying to see a sequel to Bully, I almost wish we could see something new and fresh from Rockstar Games, and Agent is not what I'm thinking of. Seeing Rockstar style with a science fiction element could be interesting, but that could also be said if they ever chose to make a game with a medieval, fantasy, pirate, or post-apocalyptic setting. Rockstar's just always presented things outside the box. Developers like EA and even Ubisoft try new things, but it at least in recent years hasn't been anything innovative. I mean, there's a reason why Rockstar is known as the kings of open world games, and that's because they know how to perfectly get our attention with the story, atmosphere, and activities in their games. But the last point I really want to make sure I make is that Rockstar Games has over 1,000 developers, and over the last 15 years we've seen so many different but unique titles from them, and that's why I hope maybe someday that they take a chance on a new franchise. While I'm sure many love Grand Theft Auto Online and what's to come with Red Dead Redemption 2, most of us like something fresh, and unfortunately, a lot of young gamers nowadays just don't understand how special a Rockstar game is. Years ago, they were releasing new games almost every single year, and just maybe behind those closed and secret doors at say Rockstar Toronto or maybe even London, something new is being worked on. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to smack that like button if you did enjoy this video or found any informative value, and let me know down in the comment section below what you think Rockstar Games' next game should be, whether it's something completely new or a sequel to an existing franchise like Midnight Club, Max Payne, Bully, Manhunt, and so on. Also consider subscribing to stay up to date on huge upcoming games like Red Dead Redemption 2, and I'll see you later.